Hi all, this is Systemshark bringing to you another audio commentary for WCReplays.com. First game I'm gonna get you guys loaded up on is the 2v2, and it'll just be labeled as 1 or A or something like that. So go ahead and get that replay synced up at the 1 minute mark. Twisted Meadow. It's a very good 1v1 map and also works really well for 2v2. So it kind of makes the best of both worlds, I guess. So we're gonna go ahead and get it on pause in 5 seconds. Here's the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. Do apologize if I sound a little nasal or sick, if I might be sniffling at sometimes. I was a little bit sick this morning. Feel a little bit better now. I actually feel if you're going to be doing audio commentaries and anything really vocal, if you have kind of a congested nose, it actually helps. It keeps you more resonant. So I think I might have mentioned that before, but for all you budding audio commentators out there, try doing it when you're a little sick or maybe right in the morning, because your nasal cavity is a little clogged up and it helps you stay more or sound more resonant and more clear when you're talking. So maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad. We'll see how it works out. So one thing you want to notice, I guess the biggest thing to note in this game is this is the cookie cutter of cookie cutters. This is exactly what the human player should be doing. This is exactly what the Night Elf player should be doing, and the Undead and the Orc. All the players are doing exactly, the basic hero strategies. Nothing special with their units. The humans going for Footman, Archmage. You got the Demon Hunter going for some hunts, going with a hunt build with the Demon Hunter, and for the Night Elf player, we're seeing a Blade Master and Grunts with a fast tech for the Orc player, and DK Fiends for the Undead. So regular 2v2 strategy, and actually very viable in 1v1 too. So basically in these 2v2 matches you kind of want to play it as a 1v1. Ideally, in the beginning you have a teammate, but try to kind of make it 2 1v1 games going on. On this game, this is actually we're going to see that the home run ball is actually fast creeping the Goblin Laboratory. Now, this is probably one of the only little bits of creeping we'll actually see in this game. A lot of this game is actually pretty action-packed, and there's a lot of interactions between the players. So, to be able to fast creep this will give the human player, home run ball, level 2 really, really quick. Killing off that high-level golem in the middle there gives him almost level 2, and then just killing off one of the trolls gives him a lot of experience and a really good item drop. So definitely a really good idea, even in 1v1s, to try to fast creep this. You notice that the Demon Hunter on the southern end of the map, the southwestern part of the map, is trying to harass the Blade Master a little bit, the Orc player, and the Undead player is just now getting his Death Knight out. We went for a slower hero build. So the basic idea here that the human and Night Elf player are trying to do is to not let their opponents creep freely. So they're not necessarily doing too much as far as killing units or forcing town portals or killing heroes off, but they're keeping their opponents busy and not letting them creep. Because you let a Death Knight get up in levels makes Quill very, very effective, and letting an Orc freely creep is never a good thing. High-level Blade Master is nothing good it's not good to deal with. So notice this Demon Hunter isn't necessarily trying to stick around and get any last hits or kills or anything, although that's kind of his goal. He's just trying to mana burn this Blade Master to make it harder for him to creep. He does actually get the last hit on this Null Overseer and steals the item, so really good move there by the Night Elf player if you're watching on the side. I know the human and the Undead are having a little bit of skirmishes on the other side of the map with the Null Warden camp and Null Overseer camp. It's both players not really wanting to commit to trying to creep these camps. If you hold alt, you'll see that all the hit points on all the units right now are still really high. But now the Undead player finally decides to make the move and try to creep this camp, and he does well, not allowing the human player to get in too close to try to get the last hit on these creeps. Fortunately, this human player is now deciding to use his Footmen and Water Elementals and Archmage to put a lot of pressure on the Crypt Fiends, which is a really, really good move at this point, because Crypt Fiends are going to be kind of the main source of DPS for this Orc and Undead team. So a lot of damage being dealt there, not necessarily getting any kills there, but just trying to spread the damage out. Now the human player is trying to put a little bit of pressure on the DK. You see that Demon Hunter was just forced to town portal. He was surrounded by the buildings, got put himself in a bad position by the Orc base, so he just had to town portal, but he actually did end up killing that Blade Master. As far as I can tell, it looks like he killed it, or the Blade Master lost the creeps and I wasn't paying attention, but good move there. Again, keeping that pressure on, not allowing that Orc player to do anything, and actually losing his Demon Hunter or his Blade Master. Definitely a bad idea for him. So now the Orc player is just forced to basically sit in his base while his tech finishes and while he finishes resing his Blade Master. Losing a hero early on like this isn't necessarily that game-changing of a thing. People can lose your heroes and it's, you can res them, it's not that big a deal. It's actually, if they're level 1, I actually recommend letting the hero die rather than wasting the town portal early on, especially if you're not close to tier 2. So the Demon Hunter and Huntresses are trying to pursue. If you hold out, there are a lot of red HP undead. If you look at the undead base right now, you've got the Demon Hunter and the Archmage and some footmen trying to pick off all these Crypt Fiends. I mean, they got to be salivating right now trying to chase these Fiends down. So the Blade Master's coming in to try to save a few of them, but those Fiends are just so low. He ends up blocking them with his grunts. Not a very good thing at all. Demon Hunter does have boots of speed, so he's going to easily be able to run up there and chase. But what is this? The Night Elf player actually has purchased the Naga Sea Witch and placed them very precariously, I guess is the word, to intercept these Fiends. All those Fiends went down. Just really, really insane. And really good micro here by the other players here, forcing the units back. Unfortunately, having the Naga Sea Witch being only level 1 and no Taunt Portal on either the Demon Hunter or the Naga Sea Witch, the Naga is very, very vulnerable. A good option that the Night Elf player could have considered doing at this point was to pass the Boots of Speed from his Demon Hunter to his Naga. I recommend doing that as soon as you get your secondary Naga out. Fortunately, Blade Master gets the final hit on that Naga, and that Naga does go down. It almost happens every game with the secondary Tavern heroes like that. So losing that Town Portal and losing your secondary hero, it's kind of bad for the Night Elf player. But again, it's still not at the point of the game where it's going to cause wins and losses here. So we're seeing Dryads being pumped out now by the Night Elf player, and the secondary hero coming out for the human is the Mountain Kings, about 75% the way completed. These are really, really good secondary heroes for this team. The thing that a lot of these teams, I guess this combo kind of lacks is control. And you see both teams actually are going to try to opt for some kind of mid-game control here in, see, we got the Dryads and we got the Mountain King for the Human and Night Elf, and we're going to see a Lich coming out for some Nova for the Demon, or for the Undead team, and Raiders for the Orc. So both players trying to get some form of control, and again, those are viable strategies in both 2v2s and 1v1s. So you see now that we've kind of separated two 1v1 games are now kind of combined into one 2v2 game. So now that they're able to group together and make some pushes. Now, the one thing you're going to notice now, and I've seen this a lot of times, people will send me replays, is the thing that loses people more games is that they put so much effort on trying to finish the game early, and they get really greedy and push into their opponent's base. When the best time to hit your opponent is when they're outside the base. You never ever, under any circumstances, really want to fight your opponent in their base. So you'll notice that in the middle of the map now, kind of towards the Orc space, is the Dryads and Frost Arrows are just really tearing up these grunts. If that Mountain King was up a little bit more, Stormbolt would have just sealed the deal with that. We'll talk more about Stormbolt in the next replay, because I'm actually going to be featuring the Mountain King in another older replay. But now the team's kind of trying to intercept and trying to finish this off. Right now the Human and Night Elf team doing very, very good, not losing very many units. Man, that Fiend focus fire, that Fiend wave just went really, really far to kill off that Dryad. Fiend's obviously really, really good counter to Hunts and Dryads, which are unarmored. However, they don't do too well versus Footmen or lots of disables. So we see, ooh, that was really close. The Frost Arrow just landed in the air, but the Burrowed Crypt Fiend just made it out alive. Really good move there by the Undead. Fortunately, this fight going on with Goblin Merchant, Blade Master gets surrounded in Stormbolt and just barely gets a TP out here. And right now we're actually going to see that happen again with this Death Knight. He's way out front and he's very vulnerable to Bolt and Surround. We got 4 heroes out there. Surround does go off on that Death Knight, and he's going to have to TP out. See how fast he took the damage. He was nearly full life, and 1 bolt and all that focus fire in the Surround just almost killed him with just 1 wave of attacks. So we're looking really, really good now for the Night Elf and Human team. Again, same as before. You could kind of compare food counts. We got 39 food on the Undead, and 46 for the Orc, and 50 and 46 for the Night Elf and Human player. So definitely kind of winning the food battle here. Forcing those TPs at this point of the game is really important, because it's going to cost them a lot more to rebuy those TPs. Archmage's taking a lot of damage from these creeps. He's about half life now, but he's got some priests manually healing the Archmage here. Blade Master comes in to try to do a little bit of gank creep jack, but he's a little bit late. If anything, it's good for scouting. Notice that the Human players also opted to go Spellbreakers. Really, really awesome unit, and very underutilized, I think, in team games. But Magic Immune, I mean, what else do you have to say? Magic Immune, normal damage, just really, really tears up those Fiends for the Undead. Medium armor takes extra from that normal damage. Not to mention Spell Steal, which is an auto-cast ability that's going to allow Spirit Link to be kind of negated. If it's cast, then it's just going to be on the other hero. Actually, right now, if you look, there's a Footman that has Spirit Link cast on him. So I believe people manually cast that more, but I think it is an auto cast ability for Spell Steal. Just anyone can correct me if I'm wrong on that. Blade Master takes a lot of damage with nothing to really save